You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. What are we going to celebrate today? Well, Earth Day. Okay, I like that one. We good to have Earth. I think if we didn't, we might have a little bit of a problem there. Whoa, wait a second. I think I'm seeing Passover begins today for those that celebrate. So, unleavened bread. Okay. And, you know, I've beaten anorexia. So, the question of the day. Today's National Jelly Bean Day. Now, I don't know, Josh, did you happen to look? Is there a Jelly Belly Day also, or is it just a Jelly Bean Day? I mean, I kind of like Jelly Bellies myself. Don't go there about the belly issue. But I do like Jelly Bellies. They're a little more flavorful, you know, and enjoyable. But today's National Jelly Bean Day, so we'll have to stick with what they tell us. It's not we don't create them. We just report them. Let's see what else is going on in the world today. The stock market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 135 points. The S&P 500 is up 24. NASDAQ up 84. Oil, it's up 12 cents per barrel. 10-year Treasury, that is down just slightly. 4.615 is where we are right now. Gasoline prices are still painful if you use gasoline. $3.67 a gallon is what we're paying right now. That's the national average. No, you don't get to pay $3.67 a gallon in California. $5.44 a gallon. $5.44 a gallon here in the formerly Golden State. How does that compare to what we've been looking at? Well, let's take a look. So we've got $5.44 today. Same price yesterday. A month ago, $4.97, and a year ago, $4.90. No inflation, huh? Okay, so we keep watching these things, and it doesn't help. I did look up a site. If you ever want to look at something that might make you ill, you can go to trueflation.com, trueflation.com, and it gives you an idea of what's going on in inflation. So there are some numbers in there that'll really get your gander going if you want to look at some of the numbers. I think when I looked in there last, inflation since the president took office, 24.94%. 24.94%. Now think about that. Do you think those numbers are going to go down anytime soon? I don't think so. But, you know, something we can always hope that that's going to happen. Gasoline prices, we know that's not going to happen. We're in California. We like high gasoline prices because we keep voting for the same people that give us high prices. It just baffles me when I listen to some of our legislators and in both the state and federal. And it doesn't matter what party it is. They're all the same. They never have a solution to anything. Their only solution is to spend money. And I just wonder at what point in time are they going to say, you know something? We have to find an answer as opposed to just spending money on everything. You can't go and say, okay, well, I need another $19 billion to solve homelessness. Well, here's the issue. And I've said this many, many times. We're at $34.6 trillion in debt. And I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not paying it back. Josh, he's like 35 years younger than me. He gets to pay it back. His kids, my grandkids, they get to pay it back, maybe. But the fact of the matter is when are we going to get responsible and say, something? We're going to figure out ways of spending less or looking at different issues and saying, this didn't work. Let's cut the budget there. And education, that's a perfect one, right? We send our kids to public schools, yet their education gets worse and worse. So let's give the schools more money so that we can get worse education. I talk about this all the time. I should probably lose weight, but I keep eating the same things. So if I eat more of it, spend more money on those same foods, do you think I'm going to lose weight? No, doesn't work that way. You got to change something. It's not just a matter of spending more. And eventually our politicians will get smart. Well, wait a second. Eventually we'll get smart enough not to keep electing the same people that keep doing these stupid things. Unbelievable. $95 billion we spent over the weekend, money we don't have, helping Ukraine, helping Israel, helping Indo-Pacific, and doing nothing about our border. Now, here's the issue, even on those things. Why couldn't we do loans to some of these places, right? Ukraine, they've got a great agriculture. Why not give them a loan for that money? If they really want it, loan it to them. If they don't win the war, obviously we're not going to get our money back. If they win the war, give us grain, give us whatever you're producing. Let us have, get our money back so that our kids don't have to keep paying for these things. We've got this invasion coming in through the southern border. Have you seen anybody step up? Oh, yeah, Mexico. They said if you give us $20 billion, we'll start looking at helping. Well, maybe if we put $20 billion worth of tariffs on your goods and services coming to the U.S., maybe that'll convince you to help. Just curious if maybe that would be the way. I'd throw that out there to you and see, take a look at the way the people that you're voting for are spending and see if it makes sense to you, because all they can do is continue taxing more. And I know, I heard the comments that when Trump did his whatever, gave the tax cuts. Well, here's the fact of the matter. When Trump did the tax cuts, the vast majority of the cuts went to the working people. Yes, the rich people got their cuts. I don't care about them because they're going to find a way anyway. What politicians don't understand is the wealthy don't reduce their lifestyle no matter what happens. They increase costs and rates to the rest of us. Throw that out there for you. We're going to chat today about the rest of us. So I saw a picture this morning, and I think it came out from Turning Point was the source of the picture. And I know that we hear all the time how great the jobs market is. But Dollar Tree closed 1,000 stores, Walgreens 900 stores, Macy's 150 stores, Foot Locker 400 stores, Gap 350 stores, Burger King 400 stores, Regal Cinemas 429 locations, Kroger 413 stores, Rite Aid, all of it, 99-cent only. They're on the verge of closing all of them. So even though the market is extremely strong and nobody's losing their jobs, we're going to talk today about a loan program. And I very rarely go into specific loan programs because I think sometimes they get kind of boring. But when I can help you with something and it's a product that will really, really need some explanation because it's only for savvy investors, it's going to take some time for us to explain it. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time today discussing the Home Select product. It is proprietary with our friends at Geneva Financial. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is it getting more affordable to buy a home? We'll talk about that. And what if you get laid off? Is there a loan program that'll help you not have the stress of your mortgage if you were to lose your job like all those companies I just mentioned? You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. They are one of only 2 companies that has the Home Select product. So we're going to talk about that today. That's Geneva Financial. Go to rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com, and check it out every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual lock rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They tell us the number That goes into your mortgage calculator. And if you don't have one, ronismylender.com. You can get a whole app. It is free to you. Let's see what happened on mortgage rates on Friday. The 30-year conforming loan was down a little bit, 7.172. 30-year jumbo, that was up 7.369. 30-year FHA, that was up 6.887. 30-year VA loan, 6.781. By the way, that is the best loan on the market. Thank you to our veterans. And the 30-year USDA loan, that's generally no down payment, always in the rural areas, 6.838. That was up a little bit. Let's take a look. Hey, every day, if you want our market commentary, we put that out as early as the data allows. We do put that out. So that market commentary, think about that one, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's take a look and see what's going on. The 10-year Treasury, that one, I'm sorry, the S&P 500 is up 26.8 right now. And let's take a look and see what the 10-year Treasury is doing. My screen does not want to cooperate right now, but we will figure it out. They've changed the screen around on me, and now I can't find anything. Our friends over at MBS Highway, they're the ones that take care of this for us. 10-year Treasury, 4.614 right now. So that's flat. Mortgage-backed securities are up a little bit, which means rates are down a little bit, 99.43. Let's take a look and see why these things are happening. What's driving the markets? Bond action. There's a lot of bonds out there that are going to be sold. Why is that important to you? Well, when there's more supply than there is demand, prices go down, which means yields go up. So that's what we're looking at. 2-year auction, we're going to have that tomorrow, $69 billion. Wednesday, 5-year auction, $70 billion. Thursday, a 7-year auction, $44 billion. So all of that going on. The Bank of Japan Governor Ueda also said that if underlying inflation continues to go up, they'll likely be raising interest rates. They also said that they would like to find a way and timing to reduce Japanese bond purchases. If this were to happen, it could mean higher Japanese yields, which may have an influence on pressuring other global yields higher. Heard from several Fed members last week, all voicing their thoughts on waiting to cut rates. We heard from Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee on Friday, who said that progress on inflation has stalled and that it makes sense to wait before cutting rates. He said that you never want to overreact to one reading, but the last 3 readings cannot be ignored. His comments are significant as he has been one of the more dovish Fed members, and even he wants to wait to cut rates. You can't really blame the Fed members, as inflation has not been good news for the past few months. We will see our PCE numbers coming out later this week. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So let's chat about this. Mortgage 101, brought to you by, I don't know, who do we have on there, Josh? Mortgage 101, brought to you by, let's see if it comes across my screen, Geneva Financial. Of course, who else would it be? Okay, so rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. That's what we're talking about today. Home Select product designed to help you learn whether or not you qualify for the most powerful, sophisticated, disruptive mortgage available in the United States that the big banks don't want you to know about. We've talked about things that banks don't want you to know about since 2010 on Ron Siegel Radio. It's an interest cost savings loan. This is Velocity Banking, highly sophisticated for qualified borrowers. You may not qualify, but if you do, the results can be staggering. We have clients that are projected to save hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in interest expense over the course of their loan. Pay off their loans that they thought they had to pay in 30 years and maybe 5 years or less in some cases. Average client pays off the loan in 7 to 12 years. We're going to go through a lot of different scenarios, and you can look around on this dashboard and see several of them. You'll also see below on the dashboard that we create for this, you're going to be able to see what the qualifications are and to see if you qualify for this. Not everybody qualifies, but the whole thought process here is you're paying your principal first. So that's why I've said that even if you lose your job, you have access to the equity of your property. That's the big issue. And I've talked many times about the loans that, or the investment product that maybe you don't really want. It's a thought process where many people say, this is what I want to do, but they don't realize the level of risk involved in a traditional mortgage. When you put money into a mortgage, in a traditional mortgage, you don't get that money out. In fact, it becomes locked there until you either sell the property or refinance the property. Home Select gives you access to the money. So let's take a look at the investment of what many people want when they talk about a mortgage. So here's what you're asking for. You can determine the amount of monthly contributions and length of time for each contribution to continue. You can pay more than the minimum monthly contribution, but not less. These are all traditional mortgages. If you attempt to pay less, the financial institution keeps all of the previous contributions. Money in the account is not liquid. The money deposited in the account is not safe from loss of principal. Each contribution made to the account results in less safety of principal. The money deposited in the account earns 0% rate of return. Your income tax liability increases with each new contribution. And when the plan is fully funded, there is no income paid out to you. Does that sound like an investment you're really excited about? Let's think about the Home Select product. It is liquid. It is safe. Well, what rate of return can you get? Well, that's a whole different issue. And tax benefits, we're going to talk about some of those as well. Although we are not tax advisors, you have to go to your tax professionals to get tax guidance. But the bottom line here is the only other program that I know of that allows you to have access to your equity is a reverse mortgage, but you've got to be a senior citizen to get that in most instances. This could be your first loan. This could be your only loan, and you can actually have access to the Home Select program. And that's why we're going to go over 3 different scenarios with you today. We're going to chat about a $360,000 loan, a $640,000 loan, and a $2 million loan. We're going to go through all these scenarios with you and show you exactly what those could mean to you. Now, you need to talk to your financial advisor. You need to talk to your tax person. We do not give financial advice or tax advice on Ron Siegel Radio. That's individualized. But I'm going to explain this program. If you want more information on it, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is it getting more affordable to buy a home? We'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let me see if I can find our story for you because someone, me, didn't get it into the folder in time. So I'm going to grab it right here. Again, rsrmoney.com. You can find out different values of your property. That's the whole focus from our friends over at rsrmoney.com. They're going to give you 4 different sources or valuations of your property, and 3 of them are good. 1 is Zillow. So go there, rsrmoney.com. Is it getting more affordable to buy a home is our question over the last year or so. A lot of people are talking about how tough it is to buy a home, and while there's no arguing affordability is still tight, there are signs it's starting to get a bit better and may improve even more throughout the year. Elijah De La Campa, senior economist at Redfin, says, quote, "We're slowly climbing our way out of an affordability hole, but we have a long way to go. Rates have come down from their peak and are expected to fall again by the end of the year, which should make home buying a little more affordable and incentivize buyers to come off the sidelines." Here's a look at the latest data for the 3 biggest factors that affect home affordability: mortgage rates, home prices, and wages. Number 1, mortgage rates have been volatile this year, bouncing around in the upper 6, low 7 range. That's still quite a bit higher than where they were a couple years ago. But there is a sliver of good news. Despite the recent volatility, rates are still lower than they were last fall when they reached nearly 8%. On top of that, most experts still think they'll come down some over the course of the year. A recent article from Bright MLS explains, quote, "Expect rates to come down in the second half of 2024, but remain above 6% this year. Even a modest drop in rates will bring both more buyers and more sellers into the market," unquote. Any drop in rates can make a difference for you. When rates go down, you can afford the home you really want more easily because your monthly payment would be lower. Number 2 is home prices. Second big factor to think about is home prices. Most experts project they'll keep going up this year, but at a more normal pace. That's because there are more homes on the market this year, but still not enough for everyone who wants to buy one. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a graph that shows the latest 2024 home price forecasts from 7 different organizations. These forecasts are actually good news for you because it means the prices are not likely to shoot up sky high like they did during the pandemic. That doesn't mean they're going to fall. They'll just rise at a more normalized pace. The average of all 7 is 3.2%. Goldman Sachs says 5%. Mortgage Bankers Association says 4.1%. Zillow 3.5%. Fannie Mae 3.2%. Freddie Mac 2.5%. The Home Price Expectation Survey 2.4%. And the National Association of Realtors 1.4. Number 3 in that list of affordability is wages. One factor helping affordability right now is the fact that wages are rising. Another graph from the Federal Reserve to show how wages have been growing over time, and they are going above the index of the trend line. That's good news. Again, if you're looking at the chart, shows how wages typically rise. If you look at the right side of the graph, you'll see wages are climbing even faster than normal right now. Here's how this helps you. If your income is increased, it's easier to afford a home because you don't have to spend as big of a percentage of your paycheck on your monthly mortgage payment. The bottom line, if you stack these up, you'll see mortgage rates are still projected to come down a bit later this year. Home prices are going up at a more moderate pace, and wages are growing quicker than normal. Those trends are a good sign for your affordability to buy a home. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. So we're going to try something here, and generally all of our screens, again, if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of the socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, the screens come up really nice and clear. That's because Josh is generally driving. Now, right now, I'm going to try driving here. Josh showed me how to do this right before the broadcast. We'll see if I can remember that. But this is Mortgage 101, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Go to rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. That's what we're looking at right here. So let's see if I can figure this out. And we're going to see if we can, wonder why. Okay, I think I've got it here. Did it come out, Josh? I think we're okay. So it looks like we're pretty much put that window in. Can you put it window in window and see? So we have a little, so that the screen actually is a little big. Now I got a problem because I've got a. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this. We're going to look at a scenario here. The first scenario we're going to look at is we're going to look at a conventional loan. So I'm going to go and just try and put this in here on the fly and see if we can get it to work. That's, maybe I can't get it to work. Well, I'm trying here. Okay, so let's see if we can try this again. So we're going to start a new simulation. We're going to go, it's going to be a purchase of a home, primary residence. And again, all of these things can be changed, but what we're looking at here is the value of the home is $400,000. We're going to do it as a 10% down. Yes, it will require a single premium mortgage insurance. And we're going to compare that to a 30-year loan. And I'm just going to put in, for educational purposes only, 7.25%. I have no idea what the rates are, what you qualify for. But remember, this loan does require qualifications. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The banks don't want you to know that this is a loan that's out there. They don't want that to know. I'm going to say that this household earns $2,500 a week after taxes. That's what they put into their bank. And we're going to put in there that they're able to save about 30% is, well, let's do 28%. I'm trying to get $3,000. So after they spend all their spending and whatnot, you know, their living and their entertainment and their gas and their cars and all that, they're actually going to have $3,000 a month left over. Now, remember, we're comparing this to a 30-year fixed rate loan. Oh, look what happens when we hit the calculate button. So the 30-year fixed rate loan obviously is going to take 30 years to pay off. You're going to see that right here. You're going to make $524,000 in interest payments. But the Geneva Home Select product, again, go to rsrhomeselect.com, is going to pay this loan off in 7.6 years. You have total interest payments of $137,000, and you're going to save $386,000. Now, think about that when you're buying a $400,000 home, saving $386,000. Now, the key here, and I've shared this with you before, is strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. When we go and look at something like this, we're realizing that, you know something? We don't have to do things the old-fashioned way. Now, let's see if I can put in here, return to results. I'm trying to find one of the screens. And again, you know, you got to play with some of these things sometimes just to see where they are. But take a look at this. So if you look on this loan, after 24 months, the balance on the Home Select is $287,768. On a traditional 30-year loan, after 2 years, $352,000. Those are the type of things that we're looking for to try and share with you, to educate you on what these numbers mean to you. Now, I could show you if I could find out where the button is, but one of these buttons tells us right here that the effective interest rate, comparison loan effective APR, 2.282. 2.282 is the effective APR. So when people are saying, you know something, interest rates are really high right now, yeah, they're right, but maybe there's a better solution if you have the right strategy. Just throw that out there for you. Josh, do we have time to do one more? Okay, so let's do another one. Again, Mortgage 101 brought to you by Geneva Financial, and we're looking at the rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com, and we're going to click on Start Over, clear all the fields. I don't know if it's going to do that for me, so I'm going to push a different button. Let's take a look this time. We're going to look at an $800,000 purchase. So we're going purchase, home, primary residence, and we're going to compare that to, again, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do an $800,000 loan with a $640,000 loan amount. We're going to compare that to a 30-year fixed at 7.25% interest. Again, we don't know what the interest rates are going to be. All we know is the banks don't want you to know about this program. Why don't they want you to know about the program? Because they don't make as much money. We're going to say that we got $3,500 a week being deposited into your account from all sources. That's after taxes because that's your deposit amount. And we're going to put in here that after you do all your household spending, mortgage and cars and everything else, you've got 32% left over. Whoa, look at this one. So now we've got, again, comparing to a 30-year mortgage at 7.25%. This time, by just doing what we're saying here, you're going to pay off in 8.3 years, and you're not going to send that bank $663,880. That's your savings if you just follow that exact formula that I just gave you. You're going to spend $931,732 in interest. Under the Home Select, you spend $267,851 in interest. So just take a look at some of these numbers. That one there has an effective APR of 2.48% on it. So we know that that's a big benefit right there. Again, that's an effective APR. And then the other thing that I want you to look at is the pay down table. And here's a big issue that nobody wants to talk about. So after 24 months, your loan balance is $525,000 under the Home Select versus $627,000 under the traditional 30-year mortgage. Now let's take this back to what I was talking about before, is that concept that we talked about before, where what happens if you lose your job and you have a mortgage? You have to keep making that payment every month, right? Well, under the Home Select product, if you've been going under this program that we've been talking about, you've got an extra $100,000 in liquidity under the program. So what if it, now here's an issue that I'm not even going to filter in. Let's say you're like a traditional company and you get a severance package of 60% of your salary. What are you going to do with that money? Well, you're going to stick it in a savings account, right? No, not when you have the Home Select. You're going to put it right into your mortgage account so that you're not making payments on that, so that you're not paying interest on all that money. Now, when you do that, you draw a salary out of your account so that you can use it to live while you go and get a new job. Your living expenses, obviously you're going to want to minimize your living expenses while you're looking for that new job, but you're going to be able to have all that money in there and you're not paying interest on it. That's the big benefit. That's the big beauty of the Home Select product. So just throw that out there for you. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. That's the Mortgage 101, brought to you by Geneva Financial. Check it out, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, what you really need to know about home prices and more. We're going to give you another scenario on the Home Select program. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So today we've been talking about the Home Select product from Geneva Financial. This is a Mortgage 101 brought to you by Geneva Financial. rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. One of my favorite products right now, again, it's not for everybody. It's only for those people that are savvy, that are qualified, that like to disrupt, that don't like to do things the same old way. They like to do things the way that can make them more money or save them lots of money. So in this particular demonstration, I'm going to again show you our simulator for the Home Select product. It's from Geneva Financial. And I want you to understand again that these work for any different scenario. But what I want you to see here is I'm going to want to show you, if I can find where there it is, the start over button, and it doesn't end up doing that. So this is going to be for a jumbo loan for somebody. So it works on we've already done it on $300,000 loan. Now we're looking at it for a $2.5 million loan. $2.5 million loan. So we're gonna do it a $2.5 million home, and we're gonna do a $2 million loan. I think I did that right. And we're going to compare that to a 30-year fixed rate. Jumbo loans are a little bit more money than a traditional loan. So than a conventional loan. So we're going to do a 7.5% interest rate on this one. We're depositing on this $10,000 a week. So we have to put that in there. We're going to see what these numbers come out to. And again, I look at them frequently, and it baffles me as much as it does the next person. But you can see that the average monthly expenses, $26,000. So we're going to say that we use half of that, and we're going to say there's 33%. So we've got about $14,300 left over. We hit calculate results and see how much money this jumbo loan, this $2 million borrower, how they're going to fare here. How about saving $2 million? How about saving over $2 million? Take a look at this. So under the traditional lending, 30 years, remember we talked about 7.5% interest rate. We're not talking about APRs or any of those things. All we're doing is putting the number that goes in because we're doing this educational purposes. Total interest is going to be $3,034,000. And again, they're going to be making payments for the next 30 years. Now, under the Home Select, it's going to get paid off at 8.5 years. Just by putting that $10,000 a month into the Home Select account every month, spending just like you do now, vacations and cars and clothing, entertainment, all that good stuff. All we're doing is leaving money in the account that we're not using currently. We're going to save on this $2,171,830. $2,172,000 saved under this program. Okay, so let's take a look and see what the summary shows. Shows us 2.547 is the effective APR on this program. 2.547. Why do you think it is that the banks don't want you to know about this? Because they want that $2 million to go into their profit and loss statement instead of your household. Think about that concept. Now let's take a look again at our pay down table, which we've been looking at on some of the other scenarios. So after 24 months, we're still looking at the same data. So after 24 months under traditional lending, you're going to have a balance of $1,961,000. Under the Home Select, you're going to have $1,658,000. 1,658. So can we just call that $300,000 benefit in the first 2 years? And again, as I mentioned before, if you're not getting if you have a problem, if your job goes south, if you get that severance, you put that money into the Home Select while you're not using it, go get a new job, leave it there for a while, and this is going to pay off even sooner. So one of the things that we look at here is, what does it take to qualify? Well, you've got to have good credit, 750 or 720 or 700 FICO score, 700 for the primary and second home. It's going to, the loan to value, you got all kinds of options. But the bottom line here, again, folks, I want to just share is the idea here is this is not a loan for everybody. It is not traditional. It's for the savvy borrower who doesn't want the banks to get all of their money. If you want the banks to have all your money, this is not the right loan for you. If you want to keep it, if you want to invest it, if you want to have the liquidity. Now let's go back to what I said in our opening on this whole program. And I think I made the comment that, is it liquid? Well, yeah, it's liquid. After you've been making payments for a while, you're going to have even more liquidity. What about in your traditional mortgage? The only way you can access that is if you get a refinance or sell. Is it safe? Yeah, it's in a bank. It's your mortgage. So what's going to be the problem? Because you've just paid down your loan. It's your property. Are there tax benefits? Well, the interest is calculated every day, and it's going to have, you're going to save a lot of money, so you're not going to have quite the same benefits to it. But would you rather have the money or a tax write-off? And no loan payment. So again, it's a great, great program for the right person And the only way you're going to know if you're the right person, go to rsrhomeselect.com, or you can go right to my booking page, rsrlinks.com/bookrs30, rsrlinks.com/bookrs30. And that'll take you right to a booking page. We'll go through a scenario that you can look at, and you've got an apply button right there on the simulator if that's what you want to do. That's Mortgage 101, brought to you by Geneva Financial and the Home Select product, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Take a look at real-time real estate, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I know I've got it in here. What you really need to know about home prices. According to recent data from Fannie Mae, almost 1 in 4 people still think home prices are going to come down. If you're one of the people worried about that, here's what you need to know. A lot of that fear is probably coming from what you're hearing in the media or reading online. But here's the thing to remember. Negative news sells. That means you may not be getting the full picture. You may only be getting the clickbait version. As Jay Thompson, a real estate industry consultant, explains, quote, housing market headlines are everywhere. Many are quite sensational, ending with exclamation points or predicting impending doom for the industry. Clickbait, the sensationalizing of headlines and content, has been an issue since the dawn of the internet, and housing news is not immune to it, unquote. Here's a look at the data to set the record straight. Home prices rose the majority of the past year. Case-Shiller releases a report each month on the percentage of monthly home price changes. If you look at their data from January 2023 through the latest numbers available, here's what you're going to see. And again, you've got a chart if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, FM 98.1 video feed. What do you notice when you look at the graph? It depends on what color you're drawn to more. If you look at the green, you'll see home prices rose for the majority of the past year. Yeah, like 10 out of 12 months. But if you're drawn to the red, you may only focus on the 2 slight declines. That's what the media coverage does. Since negative news sells, drawing attention to these slight dips happens often. But that loses sight of the bigger picture. Here's what the data really says. There's a lot more green in that graph than red. And even for the 2 red bars, they're so slight they're practically flat. If you look at the year as a whole, home prices still rose overall. Perfectly normal in the housing market for home price growth to slow down in the winter. That's because fewer people move during the holidays and at the start of the year, so there's not as much upward pressure on home prices during that time. That's why even the green bars toward the end of the year show smaller price gains. The overarching story is that prices went up last year, not down. To sum that all up, the source for that data in the graph above that we talked about is Case-Shiller, and it explains it like this, quote, month over month, the numbers were relatively flat. However, the annual growth was more significant, for both indices rising 7.4% and 6.6% respectively, unquote. If one of the expert organizations tracking home prices trends says the very slight dips are nothing to worry about, why be concerned? Even Case-Shiller is drawing your attention to how those were virtually flat and how home prices actually grew over the year. Bottom line, the data shows that as a whole, home prices rose over the past year. If you have questions about what's happening with home prices in the area, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. If you want to know exactly what's happening on home prices in your zip code, just go and get the free report. We put it out the Monday of every week. Easy for me to say. Every week on Monday, the report comes out. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. You can go in there. You can put in any zip code you want, and if you desire, you can actually have that sent to you every single Monday. I already got my copies for several different zip codes that we track. I can't track all 3,007 zip codes in the U.S., but you can go to rsrlinks.com/market report, and our friends over at Altos Research, they track every home for sale in the United States every week. and you can get that report again. It's totally free to you. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. So let's take a look. Actually, I guess we can't take a look. Josh is screaming at me. No. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.